Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about how my skincare routine has changed once I got into my 40s to present day. Now that I'm 52 years old, I'll be 53 in a couple months. And not only how my skincare routine has changed, but also how I think about skincare, how I never even really had a routine before, and how that has completely changed. And of course, I would love to hear from you guys down below in the comment section if you can relate, if your skincare routine has changed as well. And just to give you a little bit of background regarding me and my skin, but I have very, very dry, sensitive skin. I've mentioned that in almost every single video of mine. And what I did also suffer from starting in high school is eczema. And I got eczema very, very badly on my face. I would get it a little bit on my body, but it presented itself very differently on my body. So the eczema that I got on my face was really, really bad. It was the kind that was weepy, which, ew, gross. Sorry, let's move on. But it was really, really bad. And I think it was most definitely hormone related. It would be worse during certain times of the month, and the onset of it was in high school. And as I've gotten older, my skin has gotten more dry. I think it's gotten more, I don't want to say sensitive, but it's definitely gotten more reactive. But my eczema has definitely kind of calmed down. I don't really get it that often anymore, thank goodness. Another reason why I think it is hormone related. But I did struggle with those things. So my skincare routine was just, it was just centered around what could I use that just didn't, feed into the eczema? What could I use that sort of calmed my eczema down? Where now I feel like, obviously, my skincare concerns are much, much more different. I don't really have eczema to deal with. So I'm just dealing with how can I keep my skin really healthy? How can I keep it feeling really healthy? It's actually really interesting to me. I don't think I ever felt my skin before when I was younger. It would sometimes feel dry. When I would get a sunburn, it would hurt. Like those things, obviously. But now I feel like I can really feel when my skin is not quite plump, when I haven't gotten enough sleep, if I haven't drank enough water, if I haven't been working out right, if I haven't been eating well, I can almost feel it in my skin. And that is something that most definitely never happened to me when I was younger, right? We were immortal. We were impenetrable. Nothing bothered us when we were younger. So anyway, I want to share with you a few things. I've got like 5 or 6 things or habits that have definitely changed in my 40s and 50s. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my Current Body LED Series 2 mask. You guys have seen me use an LED mask now for probably 7 or 8 years now. I am a huge LED mask fan. I feel like this always makes my skin, or my complexion, I should say, it makes my complexion just appear less tired. And that for me is just so amazing, especially when I'm feeling really tired most of the time. I am working with Current Body on this video, so I just wanted to mention that and give them a big thank you, because you guys know what a big fan I am of Current Body and their LED Series 2 mask especially. So this mask is their Series 2. So they do still have their Series 1 available, but this one I would say is much more comfortable because it's contoured. So we've got like the little chin contour here, and then we have the eye cups here as well. And then we've got the lights here, and we've got this Velcro strap. That's what wraps around your head. And then there is a cable that's connected to the power. And this power is rechargeable. There's the recharging port right there. And then it's got this power button. I'm just going to turn it on now. Just hold it down. You'll hear a beep. You'll also see the red light. I mean, it's very obvious when it's on. Anyway, I'm going to turn it off because it's a little distracting. You just have to hold it down. It does also have this clip because every cycle is 10 minutes long. So if you do want to walk around with it or whatever, you have this clip. So you can just clip it onto your pants or your bathrobe or whatever. I just throw this into my bathrobe pocket. If I'm wearing it at night, I'm usually in bed. I just put this like on my nightstand. So this mask has 236 LEDs in the mask, and it runs 3 different wavelengths. So red light works like the surface of your skin. That basically addresses fine lines and your overall glow. Then there's near infrared, which goes a bit deeper into your dermis. And this is the calming, repairing wavelength. So if redness is your concern, this mask will definitely help with that. And you guys have probably seen the evolution of my skin on this channel, but I usually have quite a bit of redness around the base of my nose, around my nostrils, and on my cheeks, down along my jawline. And my skin just looks so much more even, especially when I use this mask consistently, which I'll talk about in just a second. But the last wavelength is the deep near infrared wavelength. And that goes the deepest into your dermis, and that addresses like overall firmness and the deeper, deep set wrinkles that you have. So I just want to mention that the secret to this LED mask is consistency. So you want to use it, the 10-minute cycle that it has, you want to use it between 3 to 5 times a week. You can use it anytime that you want. I always like to use it over clean skin, but before I put any skincare on. So I use it out of the shower, after I've just washed my face in the shower. But lately I've actually been getting into the habit of wearing it in the evenings. It's just part of like my wind down routine. So I'll go upstairs, I'll wash my face, I'll throw this on, and then I do what I normally do before I go to bed. I like pick up around my closet because I'm a complete disaster. I pick up around my closet, I put stuff away, I go to my laundry room and get, of course, whatever laundry is kind of left over. I just do those little chores and 10 minutes passes in a jiff. So I like doing that. I take the mask off and then I just continue with my nighttime skincare routine. So there are a ton of different LED masks out on the market right now, right? I'm sure you guys have seen them all over on Amazon. I'm sure you've seen commercials for them, but this one is different for a really, really special reason. So most brands, they test like a sample of their masks and away that batch goes, but Current Body actually tests every single LED bulb in every single mask. So the process is called Veritas. And every mask comes with a card, and you can go ahead and tap that card and you can see your specific device's test results. So I do just want to show you some before and after pictures that I grabbed off of the Current Body website. These are people that have used it. It looks like an average of about 5 times a week. And the length of time that they've used it varies a little bit, but I'll make sure that that information is included in these screenshots. But it really is all about consistency. And so I always recommend when you start using a mask, for the first 2 weeks, just throw it on every single day. It also helps you get into the habit of using it. And then you can kind of downshift to like 3 to 5 times a week or whatever. But you will really, really start to see some major differences. At least I did after 4 weeks. And it was really not until I was using it consistently, and then I think I traveled, I went on a trip, didn't take the mask. And when I got home, it was like, oh my God, like I really missed it. I could really, really see the difference after not using it for a while. So of course, I've got a coupon code for you guys. It is Michele CB and it will give you 10% off. So I'm gonna leave a link down below in my description box. It'll have the details for that so you don't have to remember. But I really love this LED mask. And if you ask my younger self if I was gonna be using like an at-home device, no, my lazy ass would have been like, absolutely not. But in my 40s and 50s, this is an absolute must. Another big change my skincare routine saw when I entered my 40s was double cleansing. That was definitely something I never did, let alone wash my face every night. Yes, I was that child. I was that child that if I was too tired, too lazy, it was getting too late, I just wouldn't wash my face. I would just go to bed without a washed face, without a clean face. And when I think back on that, I not only do I cringe, but I'm so embarrassed. That is so awful. But yeah, probably throughout my 20s, most nights, I didn't really wash my face. Anyway, now I double cleanse, and I think washing your skin at night is so important. So much happens while you're asleep, right? We do so much repairing, we do so much rejuvenation, so much work happens to repair not only everything that's going on the inside, but our skin, which is our body's largest organ. So I love to use a makeup remover. You guys know how much I love the Kogen Do Cleansing Spa Water. I was introduced to it at Barney's. That's how long I've been using it. And it's just wonderful. It's very, very gentle. It doesn't leave any film behind, which is probably my favorite thing, even though I do go in with another cleanser afterwards. But I just love the way this feels, and I love how effective it is. It can even take off waterproof mascara. You just kind of have to like leave it on and like leave, put it on a little cotton pad and leave it on your eyes for probably a little bit longer than like an oil-based cleanser, but this will take care of it. It just takes a little bit longer, but I like how gentle it is. I do use it around my eyes. I do use it to remove makeup, eye makeup, mascara, etc. And it never leaves a film behind, which is so awesome because every time I use those like oil-based cleansers to remove eye makeup, they do it really quickly, a lot faster than this, yes, but they always leave a film over my eyes and that I like can't see for a while. So anyway, I much prefer this. And then for the second part of my cleanse, I like to use a cleansing balm or I like to use a cleansing oil. I feel like that also just really breaks down everything and it really cleans my skin. So the Tatcha Camellia Cleansing Oil, this is one of my favorite cleansing oils. I have a bunch. I didn't want to just rattle off a whole list to you, but that one I really recommend. In terms of cleansing balm, I really love the Rejuve Luminous Cleansing Elixir because that also is another cleansing balm that doesn't leave a film behind. It's already broken down. It's super silky. Sorry, I wish I had one, but I've used it up already. And I think my favorite part is how effective it is, how soft it leaves my skin, but it doesn't make my skin feel especially oily, and it doesn't leave that film behind, which a lot of cleansing balms do. So I really love that one. But yeah, double cleanse. I mean, who knew that I'd be doing 2 washes to my face? If you told 20-year-old Michelle that, she would have just laughed in your face. So anyway, that has been a big change. And I think that has really helped like just the general overall health of my skin. This next shift in my skincare routine was definitely, I guess you could say it was kind of like a paradigm shift. This was something I just never really believed in. And then when I did start incorporating these products into my routine, I started to see a difference. I was like, okay, all right, maybe these work. But because I was never really into the habit of them, they were also kind of like the first step to go in my skincare routine if I was too tired, if I was running out of time. But now they're sort of integral to my skincare routine. I always try and incorporate an eye cream and a neck and décolleté cream, both morning and night. Again, we're not getting any younger. So in terms of eye creams, I just wanted to shout out, again, I have quite a few favorites and I go between quite a few, but the 2 that I'm using very actively right now is the Clé de Peau Eye Contour Cream Supreme. I use this during the day. It has a nice, rich, thick texture, very silky, soft. And La Mer, the Rejuvenating Eye Cream, this is, I believe, their newest release. This I use in the evenings. And both are very nourishing. Both are great for my dry skin, but neither of these have given me any milia. I suffer a lot from milia, and I remember, trying different things, like in my late 30s, early 40s, and I just kept getting this milia, and I didn't really understand what was going on. And then I realized, oh, these are kind of like bad eye creams. So anyway, I've been loving these 2. I just wanted to bring this down. I also love this Blanc Peony Eye Serum from Chantecaille. Chantecaille has great eye products. It's got this cooling tip. They also have a Rose de Mai or Rose de May. I always mess up the pronunciation, but it's M-A-I. So I'll say Rose de Mai. The Rose de Mai line, they also have an eye serum or eye cream in very similar packaging. That one is wonderful too. So I really love these particular eye creams, but I have really come to appreciate eye creams. I think when I started my channel, I didn't really use them. I kind of questioned, I was like, is this just, another like money grab for companies? But when I started using them, I really did start appreciating them. And, I was very lazy about it. Very lazy. I was like, oh, whatever, like if I forgot to put it on, I was like, whatever. But now I really make it a point to use eye creams. Some eye masks that I love, you guys know. I love the 1-on-1 Skin Cryo Depuffing Eye Mask. I feel like those are a really nice way to like start my day. Not only do they depuff my eyes, because my eyes are a bit puffy when I wake up, but yeah, they kind of smooth out fine lines. They feel really great. So I kind of like starting my day with those. If you watch any of my vlogs, very often I'm like drinking my coffee and putting those on. But this eye mask, this is a very special eye mask that I just wanted to shout out because I don't use these too often. Because they're very rich and they're very very luxurious. So these are the Synactive eye masks. So it comes in like 2 pieces. So one for each eye. I'm just going to show you this picture back here. So one for each eye. I mean, when you feel the mask, it's so thick and like creamy. It's not just like this gel mask with some goo on it. It literally feels like there is a cream in this eye mask. It is absolutely divine. Like if you're feeling like, oh my God, what's going on with my eyes? Slap this mask on. I'm telling you, it will solve all of your eye problems. It's so good. It's so decadent. It's really incredible. When I first opened one of these up, I was like, what is going on here? It's absolutely incredible. It's absolutely incredible. This whole line from Clé de Peau, Synactive, is incredible. In fact, I have the Synactive eye cream as well. It's not currently in my rotation because this La Mer, this new one, I've just been trying it out. I want to use this straight just so I can get a sense of it. But yeah, the Synactive eye cream is really, really gorgeous too. I think it's just like the eye cream in mask form, basically. So yeah, take your pick, but they're both wonderful. And the other sort of very, very targeted skincare that I've been using, much like the eye cream, are neck creams or neck masks. So here is another Clé de Peau Synactive product. This is their neck and décolleté cream. It is so, so rich. I believe this is my second jar of this, but I just like lay it on. I love this one. There's a Revive one that I really love, their Firmatif neck cream. That is really, really lovely. And then speaking of Revive, this Firmatif chin contour mask is incredible. This is great if you're gonna go out for the evening and you really want like everything to look extra snatched. Try one of these chin contour masks. It's the type that hooks over your ears. And oh my God, it does this whole like lifting situation. And it feels like when you unhook the ears when you're done with the mask and you take it off, it feels like it's frozen in position. It's amazing, really, really amazing. It is instant tightening. And I really do like using these before I'm going out for the evening. So this is wonderful. But yeah, all of these sort of like very special, very specific skincare products, I never bothered with when I was younger. It was like, lucky if I washed my face, lucky if I managed to put some cream on. Like I never did any of this, but now, oh, now I do. Now I do. And I definitely see a difference. It definitely helps. I mean, every little bit helps. But these like very targeted specific products, I really did think were a money grab for the longest time, but I have to say, I really think that they help. And SPF. I never used to use SPF. I think a combo of learning more about it and how important it is, getting older, starting to see spots, and also moving to Las Vegas, all of that sort of coincided at the same time. And you have to wear SPF living in Las Vegas, but also just getting older and knowing that it prevents, wrinkles, it prevents these like dark spots that I have. I have been using and wearing SPF 50 religiously, and my skin's been getting like paler and paler the older I've been getting, I think because I've been really religious using SPF. So as you guys know, I love the Revive Soleil Superior. This is SPF 50. I also love the Clé de Peau UV Protective Cream, SPF 50. This guy, I'm just sucking this guy dry, but I always cut the top off and then like get one last use out of it. I think I'm at that point. It's so sad. Anyway, and I think this is getting low too. But SPF, I never bothered with. Living in New York City, you're out and about, because you're always out walking around. You're not really driving or whatever. But the tall buildings, I mean, sometimes they do a little reflection, but most of the time you can walk in shadow. So I never really bothered. And then in the summertime, I would just lay out. I'd be like, oh, I need a tan. It's tanning time now. Awful. I don't do that anymore. I wear my SPF religiously. I, reapply SPF even. Like the idea of that when I was younger, not even 20s, but like 30s, even early 40s, the idea of like reapplying SPF, I would have completely balked at that. Now I carry around that Shiseido Clear Sunscreen Stick. That's SPF 50. I've mentioned that before, but I have that in my purse, and I always at least reapply it to my cheeks, which is where I get so much sun, but I'll just like throw it on quickly. Maybe I'll just run it down like the top of my nose. I should put it all over, but if I'm just like, kind of, in a rush or whatever, just in my car, and I'm just running, in the parking lot or whatever, I'll at least do that. My younger self would have made fun of myself now. But now that I know better, now that I'm older and wiser, I know that I need to wear my SPF. So that is a huge, huge change for me. The other huge change for me is my diet and what I actually ingest. And I think when we're younger, at least this is how I thought. Again, I think kids are much smarter these days, right? There's so much more information out there. But if I had skin issues, I never thought about my diet and how it would feed into it. It was too far of a relationship. It was like, okay, if I ate something and my stomach hurt, that made sense to me. But if I ate something and then next week my skin looked awful or my eczema got worse or whatever, I would never put two and two together. And I do think that like subconsciously I did start linking my diet with my skin the older I got. But now I know there's such a direct correlation. There's such a direct relationship between your diet and your skin, and drinking the water. I think that's probably everyone's like first sort of like diet skin relationship act is like drinking more water. But beyond that, I try and stay away from ultra processed foods. I always, always, always feel like if I overdo it, like, I can have a small bag of chips and I'm okay. But if I overdo it, if it's meal after meal, day after day, quite often when I'm traveling, I will start to feel my eczema come out on my upper lip. It could also be kind of a reaction to like highly processed oils or whatever that they use, industrialized oils that they use. But I also have started incorporating like vitamins, and not just a multivitamin for general health. I take a multivitamin. I take this vitamin that has, I've already forgotten, I've just taken it so long, but it has like the B vitamins that I'm a little bit deficient in. And then I'll take the other ones like creatine, I'll take collagen, I'll take or whatever. But I started taking these Ritual vitamins. So Ritual Omega-3 and the Hyacera, which is daily skin hydration. This is basically hyaluronic acid in capsule form. Now, I'm a big fan of hyaluronic acid. Look at these capsules, aren't they cool? I'm a big fan of hyaluronic acid. I think it is great for the skin, but I live in the desert. And if you are in a very dry climate, you cannot just use hyaluronic acid willy-nilly. You have to put it on and then immediately put some occlusive type of product over it, some oil or cream, something to lock it in, because otherwise it's gonna just grab the moisture out of your skin, which is the exact opposite of what we want it to do. But when you are ingesting it, you're safe from all of that. So I've been taking this. I'm not great with vitamins, you guys. I admit it. I'm not great with vitamins. I try and take the same vitamins every single day, and I am getting better. But I try and take these every single day. It's just one each. And I do think the omega-3s are also very good for the skin, for like skin plumpness, the overall health of skin. And I especially love Ritual because I never really got into taking vitamins because it always upset my stomach, whether I took it in the morning, at night, on a full stomach, and a half full stomach. I mean, I've tried everything. And usually, like if I just take like a Centrum or something, it's not good. It upsets my stomach, it repeats on me, like all the ugly things. But ever since I started taking mainly Ritual supplements, I don't have that issue, which, look, I love it. I love it. Anything to make taking vitamins easier, I'm all about. So yeah, vitamins, staying away from ultra processed food, like all of these things I think have really, really helped just like the overall general health of my skin. And then just one last thing, which I feel like is probably common sense, but I'm going to say it anyway, is sleep. Get your sleep in consistently, and make sure you get enough sleep. And I think that word enough is very different and very personal to people. For me, I need somewhere between 7 and 9 hours, and then I'm good. Anything short of that, not great. Anything more than that, and I feel like I've gotten like run over by a truck. When you feel like you've slept like too hard? If I sleep longer than like 9.5 hours, I feel that way. Not great. That's when I wake up like really puffy and like in a daze. Anyway, 7 to 9 hours, perfect for me. Could be different for you. I know people who need like 10, 10 hours. I think we've all seen it, right? Like if you've traveled and you're jet lag, or if you've had a late night or you have an early morning, I mean, you just wake up and you look in the mirror and you're like, wow, I look like crap. I mean, I think that's the most immediate first thing you notice when you don't get enough sleep is how awful your skin looks. And like I said, I think this is common sense, but it's worth mentioning. Just try and get your sleep in. Try and be consistent with your sleep. Go to sleep at the same time every night. Wake up at the same time every morning. Weekdays and weekends, I'm telling you, it is like the secret. It's been my secret to like happiness is going mainly, right? There's always exceptions, but mainly going to bed and waking up at the same time every single day is fantastic. You never ever have that kind of feeling of jet lag on Monday morning. You know, if you're someone that like has a weekday schedule and then you have a different weekend schedule, you're always like jet lagged basically every Monday, and it carries over. Maybe Wednesday you start to feel better. It'll take even longer the older you get. And, you know, again, if you said this to younger Michele, I would have been like, okay, and just continue doing what I was doing. But I used to keep very different hours, weekdays from weekends. I would go out very, very late at night during the week, never got enough sleep, and just, yeah, and just thought like, oh, everything will be fine. I'll just drink some water. I'll just slap on some lotion. Everything will be fine. No, especially once you hit your 40s. Absolutely not. That just does not cut it anymore. You need your sleep. So yes, that will provide the base that you need for all of this other stuff is your sleep, your diet, and then all of this other gooey goodness. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Big thank you to Current Body for sponsoring this video. Please check down below in my description box if you're interested in that LED Series 2 mask. It is wonderful. Use Michele CB for 10% off. And that's it. Thank you guys so much. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one.